I go through 5 iterations of my truth, and then I pick one.
Sister Wives Tell Nothing recap part 1. I mean, some people might call that lying or picking the story that was the most publicly acceptable, best fits your narrative, and going with that. But hey, what do I know? Now we're gonna get into the Tell Nothings, but first thing, I kind of want to give us a framework of who Kody is based on something that he just posted to Cameo to go into this with the proper perception of who he might be.
Moms get a chemical dumped into them. I'm going to call it God's magic. And this chemical makes you fall in love with your children in a way that is irreconcilable when your children are born. And it makes you love unconditionally forever. And I'm jealous.
He goes on to say that moms have empathy and compassion. Dads just don't have that, which I know there's not a lot of men here, but the dads who unconditionally love their children, go ahead and raise your hand. Saying that and posting that and sending someone that, which also too, I'd be so mad if I spent $150 on a Cameo and just got him talking about himself. But saying that after actually suffering the loss of a child, I literally can't wrap my brain around this. Never could redeem that person for me. So we start the tell-all in Sedona, Arizona, and of course at the beginning of these they'll give you the highlights, and there was one that I just absolutely loved. I'm sure this is gonna happen in a later part because this wasn't said in this part, but
if you'll ever be able to settle down and have a conversation and be friends with Kody and Robyn. I don't need it. I don't want it. I really just don't like them. I don't want to know them. I don't want to be friends with them.
See, those are the answers I wish that we got from more people. It's not this huge, convoluted story and whatever. I just actually don't want to be friends with you because I don't particularly like you. That is a perfectly acceptable answer. Speaking of not liking people, our relationship may change after this next clip because if I had to see this, so do you.
First time we ever did the one-on-ones, it was pretty scary. It was exciting at the same time, but it was very scary. But they did Robyn's makeup.
I know.
It was magical. I can't get over that. Every time I look at that picture, I'm like,
Wow.
Delicious looking.
So first of all, did he clock her makeup lately? Because a lot of people do. I just didn't expect him to get in on it. And second of all, that is not a phone or screen that I would lick. You're gonna get a mouthful of Moroccan oil. Nobody's gonna be happy. Don't do it. A lot of this goes through them getting ready to go, talking about their feelings towards the tell-all, and that some of them are nervous. Some of them are like, we've done this a million times. We're not really that nervous. Then Robyn and Kody were actually talking about when they all used to do the tell-alls together. And a lot of people ask, I see this a lot, why they don't do that anymore. Man, nobody would be able to get a word in edgewise. It would be like a Jersey reunion, the Housewives, but Andy Cohen wouldn't be there to rein everyone in. And they go to everyone introducing themselves, and Mary says, I'm Mary, I'm not a sister wife, which I thought was kind of funny. And one thing that she said that I thought was important, and one of my favorite quotes of all time, is, I'm here to tell the truth. And if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember all the stories that you told everyone else. Like some other people. But to open the interview, and this is actually something you want to do if you're interviewing people, is you ask an opening icebreaker question that's non-confrontational, easy, kind of gets them talking. And the question this year was, is there a movie that you kind of identify with? Last year they asked a song. However, this year, just like last year, Robyn did not answer that question, but everyone else did. Janelle, fried green tomatoes. Girls, she's older and has more insurance. Mary picked Wild, a film with Reese Witherspoon about a woman who goes on a solo hiking trip in 1995 after going through a lot of personal stuff to find herself. And Christine chose Everything Everywhere All at Once, a movie with a core understanding, and if I'm wrong, I haven't seen this, I'm reading this on the internet, about finding the meaning in your life and happiness and finding that meaning in choosing what you allow to be within your scope. Again, Robyn didn't choose a movie. Kody, the 1991 action thriller classic Point Break, starring the Sways, Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves, and Lori Petty, wherein he is a part of a group of surfer bank robbers, and he's the FBI agent who develops a soft spot in his heart for this guy, and I'm just gonna say what everyone's thinking. His hair does not look like this, but I bet he thinks it does. Then, as if this comparison was not wild enough, and I want to point out, neither one of them knew the name of the movie. They had to look offset and ask a producer, so it clearly is very meaningful. But then he changes his answer, and we've got a few problems with this from kind of a nerd.
Get better.
Okay,
Batman.
okay.
Batman Returns. If you don't die the hero, you live long enough to become the villain.
Wow. Okay. Do you feel like you're the villain?
It's about being villainized. It's not about being the villain. It's about being villainized.
Anything to look deep and then eventually ending up making yourself look like you have no idea what you're talking about, and you probably Googled that before the thing. So, that quote from Batman Returns, the 1992 amazing Best Batman, Michael Keaton situation that had Michelle Pfeiffer, Danny DeVito, directed by Tim Burton. I don't seem to remember that line in that movie. Because that line is actually from the 2008 Christopher Nolan Dark Knight, wherein Aaron Eckhart, who plays Harvey Dent, also Two-Face, because he probably doesn't know that either, is talking to Batman, but he doesn't realize it's Batman because it's Bruce Wayne at that point, played by Christian Bale, explaining how in history, leaders will be doing what is right for the people or not moving out of the way when maybe people think that they should, and they are villainized because of that. And it's also a little bit of foreshadowing in the movie about what is going to happen to Batman and Two-Face. And in this context, makes absolutely no sense. See, because Batman becomes the villain for Two-Face because they need Harvey Dent. That's the hero they need. That's the whole thing. What are you talking about? Grandiosity of it. Who compares themselves to Batman? The closest answer I would have accepted was comparing to Gary Busey with the whitening action we've got going on this front four. You know what I mean?
My mouth runs fluidly. It's easy to make fun of somebody who doesn't have a filter. So.
Or somebody who's just speaking their truth, or...
Well, see, I go through 5 iterations of my truth, and then I pick one.
Well, I think that's been the problem, that there's been a lot of iterations of the truth from you, from other people, from other wives. I mean, it feels like it's all fluid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so for real with you guys. When I was younger, before I dealt with a lot of the stuff that I needed to deal with, including my personality disorder, I used to use that line. Like, oh, I just don't have a filter. I was just being rude and trying to be like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble for it. But Suki kind of cuts off this conversation, and then Kody starts speaking to her, and I do not, like, no job is worth it to be spoken to like that, to me, personally. And I get it. I've never had a job at that level, but, like...
Hold that thought, because we're going to talk about exactly this. I want to show you this clip, and then I'll...
My favorite thing, the clips. Let's watch it.
Yes, let's watch.
It's hard to be accountable for things that you're saying in a passionate moment.
But you are being passionate about the people you love.
Well, let's see what the clip's about.
Or the people you don't love, as in this case.
We'll go into more of that tomorrow for part 2. Sorry that Batman rant took up, like, a lot of the video, but it was so important. Oh, anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.